Hello, hi, welcome, or welcome back. I am going to be talking about Bleach. I'm continuing my discussion of Bleach. This is going to be about the Arrancar arc. I made a video previously about the first part of the Arrancar arc, and now I'm going to be talking about the conclusion of it. The arc was so long that it just took me so long to read it. I was like, okay, I'm just going to break it up into parts, and now I'm finished with it, so I finally get to talk about it as a whole. So that's what we're going to be doing. Just a disclaimer, this is going to be full spoilers. So if you are interested in watching or reading Bleach and you haven't read up through this point or watched up through this point, I would not recommend watching this video because you're going to get spoiled. Like, there's going to be spoilers. So just a fair warning. Okay, so let's get into the discussion. By the way, this is just going to be completely a thought dump. I'm not organizing. I'm just going to kind of go through things as they happened. I have been so excited to talk about this for so long because, yeah, the ending of the Arrancar arc was so freaking good. I had my doubts in the last video because some of the battles, like the never-ending kind of battle after battle after battle, was getting a little bit monotonous to me and like just a tiny bit boring. But Kubo brought it together. He brought it back. He gave us a really good ending, okay? He delivered. I am really excited to just kind of freak out over this arc with you. Overall, I love this arc. Even with the kind of murky middle that I was feeling with it, I really like the arc. I think it was really well done. So at the end of the last video, I had just gotten to the point where all the Soul Reaper captains had come to Hueco and then the rest of the captains were in the fake Karakura town. So that's where I had ended off. And so I basically was at like the final stretch, the final battle of the entire arc. Like, it was a really long final battle, but you know. So the whole Arrancar arc kind of spans this number of chapters and volumes in case you're interested. So to be honest, I think I might have liked the Arrancar arc better than the Soul Society arc, but even so, they're really close. Like, they were both so good. So even if I do like the Arrancar arc a little more, it like just squeezes past Soul Society arc. So, you know, they're both really phenomenal. But the thing is that by this arc, I have a stronger connection to a lot of the characters. So that's what kind of gives it a leg up to me over the Soul Society arc. It's just, we were with the characters. We've been with the characters for longer now. So I just feel like I'm closer to them and all the relationships and the betrayals and all that stuff. So it just feels more satisfying, I guess, to see everything that happens in this arc. And then, as I said, the ending like really brought it all together. It was so bombastic. It was just a really, really good ending. While I was getting bored with some of the fights earlier on in this arc, every single fight that was happening in this, like these last few sections of the arc, every single one of them kept me on the edge of my seat. I was super invested in all of them. I was so excited about all of them. I loved every single matchup. Kubo really hit us with some great matchups here. A lot of like past drama brought into things, like the betrayal captains versus their assistant captains and just people that kind of had friendships before now are fighting and all that stuff. It was very, very good. And then people started showing up in the nick of time, right, to save people. They're like, oh, we're here, by the way. And every single time that happened, I was so excited, okay? I know that's like a trope and it kind of can get old, but not to me, okay? I love that trope. I love every time that happens in a story where someone gets saved at the last minute by an unexpected party. I'm always like, oh my God. Yeah. So that happened a lot here and I was very excited about it. I fell for it every time. And then we got to see a lot new Bankai attacks. I love all the Bankai. They're so exciting. I love how they're so different for each individual user and they're so powerful. That word alone, every time I see it on the page, Bankai, every time it pops up, I'm always just like, oh shit, it's happening. Things are happening. Kubo could just put it on the page at any time and I'll lose my shit. I especially want to talk about the fight between Stark, the numero uno Espada, and Captain Kuraku. That one was really fun. That was a really fun fight. I love Kuraku. He's one of my favorite characters. I don't know. I love how chill he is. I love his style. He's really fun to me, but he's kind of terrifying at the same time because you know he's like so powerful and you just know he has a lot simmering beneath that kind of calm demeanor, waiting to be unleashed if he can just get off his ass and do the thing. But I liked his fight with Stark because it was just so interesting to me. Like, neither of them really wanted to fight at all. So the dynamic of that was kind of humorous, but they just both kept going because they knew they needed to. Like, this was inevitable. It had to happen. Someone was going to have to win. So they just kept going, kept fighting. And then Stark lost, and Kyoraku didn't even have to use his Bankai to win, which is insane. He's just that strong. I mean, I know he had some help, like other people kind of helped wear down Stark, but still, he didn't have to use his Bankai to win. Like, that's crazy. And then the Captain Commander getting in the mix. Oh my God, that was exciting. Are you kidding? I don't think we've seen him fight at all yet. I think this is the first time we've seen him get into a battle. So that was really very exciting. I very much liked that. And then the Vizard shows up. Everyone, come on. We're all fighting. Shinji versus Aizen. I kind of wanted that to be the final matchup. I knew Ichigo was going to have to be the one to defeat Aizen. Like, I know who the main character of the series is, but still, I think Shinji versus Aizen was the matchup I was the most excited for, just because I've started to really like Shinji after the past arc, and I knew that like Aizen was basically the reason he had to be banished to the world of the living, and it kind of just ruined his whole life, and he never really liked Aizen. So I wanted that matchup to just be the ending. Like, I wanted that to be the final one because I was so invested in it. You know, it was still a little bit satisfying because I got to fight, but you know. And then Tosen versus Komamura and Hisagi, those three, that was a really good fight too. Again, really good kind of history between those three. The relationship that each person have with each other, very compelling. So that fight was really interesting too. And then, despite my better judgment, I found that I actually was a little bit sad at the deaths of Gin and Tosen. I hated when they were revealed to be siding with Aizen at the end of the Soul Society arc. That really pissed me off about each of them. I was like, how could you? I was betrayed along with everyone else, okay? And despite it all, when they died in this arc, I was sad. I guess that just goes to show the good writing. They were a little more complex than just being like these cartoonish villains. Like, they just had more to them. So it was good writing. Like, good job, Kubo. You got me to care about people, even just briefly, that I thought I was just gonna hate no matter what. So away from the Karakura fights, back to Hueco Mundo. Ichigo versus Ulquiorra. That fight was insane. Big things happened there. A whole new power emerged from Ichigo. I mean, not really. We saw that he had like a hollowification, but it grew to a whole new level here. Between everything that happened with Ichigo, Orihime, and Uryu, this was a really dramatic fight. And then Ichigo even freaking died in the middle of this fight. It was insane. Like, what the hell was happening? And then when we finally got to go to the real Karakura town, I should have known that Aizen was going to end up there, but I didn't for some reason. Like, I didn't predict it. So it was kind of cool seeing what was going on there and getting to see Ichigo's friends. And then that kind of upped the stakes because then they're in immediate danger now. So it's more dramatic. There's more tension. So then we get to finally the final battle of this arc between Ichigo and Aizen. And I know that a common criticism of Bleach is that they just keep pulling these power-ups for Ichigo out of nowhere. Like, they just keep coming, and he always has like some power-up to get him out of a bad thing or to win a fight or whatever. And maybe knowing that beforehand helped to kind of tamper that for me. So I'm kind of expecting it now all the time. But, you know, I think that the power-ups kind of work. Like, I don't know, they're not super annoying to me or anything. I think one of the reasons why in this case in particular, where he just like gets this really like god level power up, is that it comes at a great cost to him. So he doesn't just get this total power up with no consequences. So I think that's why it works for me. I think that's one of the reasons. And Ichigo knowing that this is going to happen, that there's going to be a consequence, that he's going to lose his Soul Reaper powers, and going through with it anyways and doing it anyways, and that it speaks to his character so much and his characterization, is just what makes it work to me, because I already like Ichigo as a character. I like his kind of selflessness that he's learning to have. So it makes the power up, again, it just makes the power up work for me. It makes it not just an easy slide to the end. There's still some conflict there. There's a lot of inner conflict. There's drama. And I really liked how kind of somber Ichigo was during the fight with Aizen. Like, he knew what the consequence was going to be, and he went through with it anyways because he wanted to save everyone. That's just who he is. So I really liked that. And the drama and the emotion that was put into this fight overrode any kind of convenient powers to me. So I don't know. It's just a really good fight. It was a really good final battle. And then at the end of this arc, finally Aizen is defeated. That was a big buildup. He's been a villain for a long time in the series, and he's finally defeated. But is he defeated forever? That's what I want to know. Does he come back? Because he wasn't killed. He's not dead. So he could feasibly, very easily come back into the mix. I'm going to be very interested to see if he does come back, because we still got a lot of story left. There's a lot of chapters and a lot of volumes left. So I will be interested. Are we going to just live happily ever after now that Aizen is imprisoned? I don't know. I doubt it. And then the freaking ending of this arc. It was so sad to me. The reality of Ichigo losing his Soul Reaper powers finally hits, and it sets in, and I just felt crushed. And then the panels where he says goodbye to Rukia, and she just starts to fade away. I was not okay after that. I wasn't okay. Even though I know she's going to come back. Like, come on. We all know how this works. She's going to come back. But like, it was still sad. I think how it happened in the moment was still really good. So overall, as you can tell, I really, really liked this arc. The phenomenal ending just made the whole entire thing feel so epic. It was bold. It was thrilling. I never wanted to stop reading. It was great. So yeah, that's the Arrancar arc. Looking forward, I'm going to have a video up for the next arc, I think it's called the Lost Shinigami or the Lost Agent. I'll have a video up for the next arc fairly soon. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get through that one pretty quickly because it's quite a bit shorter than the others. So I think that'll go by pretty quick. So anyways, I think that's all I have to say about this arc. If you have read or watched up to this point, if you've read the Arrancar arc, I would love to know your thoughts about it. I love hearing what people have to say about Bleach. Otherwise, I guess that's all for me until next time. Just, hang in there and have a really, really great day. Farewell.